My name is Arroe. I'm a daily writer. I am a silent wolf. That means I stand on the sidelines and do nothing but watch. I listen, I study, and then I activate. I call it the Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. Yes, it's my morning writing. As a receiver of thoughts and ideas, we as people tend to throw it to the side. Oh, we'll deal with it later. When a subject arrives inside of me, it's time to dig in. It's still keeping a journal, but doing the research paints a clearer picture inside my imagination. This is the Daily Mess. Observation number 9. I've been very blessed with the opportunity to share in-depth conversations with so many of today's newest singer-songwriters. Many of them incredibly touched by the journey of the genre that's called classic rock. The format itself was developed by radio from the days of AOR, album-oriented rock. Its true time period is the 1960s through the mid-1990s. 30 years later, those making new music, opening for legends, and playing in front of a very small crowd at a local bar, have used classic rock as their foundation to being found and or compared to. Yet, the radio stations that continue to play classic rock, that sound that brought Skinner together with Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, AC/DC, and even Van Halen, they can't seem to find the room to invite new artists like Drew Cagle, Tony Cardenas, and even Grin Cynic to their stage. A recent article states that FM radio has added a lot of new bands to their classic rock format. Yeah, but get this though. This is who they say are the new bands: Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Metallica. So when do they fall out of the category of being new artists? Because as a radio broadcaster, I've been there since their discovery. Classic rock and their listeners. Guess who one of their top listeners is? Generation Z. Yeah, the young adult men and women, they call classic rock their sound. But they aren't getting the influencers from today's brand new singer-songwriters. Unless you go to a streaming platform. When will classic rock embrace those that have been heavily influenced and inspired by the greats that made it right between 1960 and the mid-1990s? Hey, coming up next, we're going to take even a deeper look into the genres of music because I want to know what is it that we're truly listening to, and more importantly, what aren't we listening to? Observation number 10. If you ever get the chance to take a walk on the internet through the research of YouGov Global, it measures the demographics as well as the psychographics and behaviors of the modern generation. This company has spent a lot of time asking thousands of questions, one of them being, what music genres are the masses truly tapping into? Not just on terrestrial radio, but every streaming outlet. One of their keywords at YouGov Global puts focus on traction. What has staying power? Well, here are the top 5 genres of music that we're tapping into from number 5 to number 1. At number 5, classic rock. Then comes dance, R&B, hip hop, and at number 1, pop music. Even today, pop music. That's not deep enough for me, though, because if we're going to talk about the cream of the crop, the best of the best songs and styles, what genres of music are sitting on the bottom of the list at YouGov Global with all of their beautiful research? One of them on the bottom of the list shocks me. And yet, as a mobile entertainer of 32 years, it's the one genre of music that I have been asked to never play at a wedding and or celebration. You ready? Country music. Also on the do not play list or not so popular list on the global music front, classical music and jazz. Makes you cringe, doesn't it? And yet, there's a side of my Taylor Swift loving way that would one day love to listen to Taylor write, produce, and bring to us a piece of jazz. Because I think she's got not only the storytelling ability, but the wide enough imagination to tap into every instrument possible that will come together and give us jazz. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.